up, YouTube? It's a cheap yo-yo quick review. So this is the Duncan ProFly. The Duncan ProFly is basically a rebranding of the playmaxx Pro-Yo 2 GT. That's a mouthful. Pro-Yo 2 GT. Now the Pro-Yo 2 GT came out in the mid-1990s, and it was the winged-shaped version of the Pro-Yo. And when Duncan bought all the rights and everything from playmaxx, they kept the Pro-Yo, and then they renamed. Well, it was the Pro-Yo 2. They kept the Pro-Yo 2, and they renamed the Pro-Yo 2 GT to the ProFly. So Pro-Yo, ProFly, similar construction. This is more of a looper or like a modified imperial shape, and this is a butterfly shape. Hence ProFly. Or wing shape. I don't know if you call this a butterfly shape. Butterflies are a little bit different. This is a butterfly. This is more of a just wing. As you can see. It's different. Totally different, right? Different. So anyway, the ProFly or the Pro-Yo 2 GT, when it was the Pro-Yo 2 GT, it was based on the Turbo Bumblebee GT, which had a very similar shape, but the Turbo Bumblebee had had like pads in it that burned out really quickly, and it had a ball bearing. So this was the fixed axle version. The Turbo Bumblebee was the much like the Pro-Yo was the ball bearing version. So the fixed axle version is the one that Duncan kind of kept going, I guess. Now you can still get these. You saw me unbox it. These are about $5 on Yoyo Expert right now, and it comes with String Tricks Volume 1 DVD, mini DVD. See, it's tiny. I haven't watched this yet, but I'm curious to see who's going to be on this. I should put it in. But anyway, this is the basically the butterfly with a wooden axle. And for $5, I don't know why this one's not the one that's in all the stores. So let me kind of show you what I mean. So this kind of is, at the time it wasn't really set up. The modern fixed axle play with like stalls and whatnot wasn't really a big thing. But at this point, this is an excellent beginner yo-yo for that kind of stuff, because it's nice and like lightweight sort of, but it's got a powerful spin, which means you don't have to throw it very hard to stall. In fact, it's a lot easier to stall if you don't throw it real hard. And I just sucked there. It's much easier to stall if you don't throw it very hard. And at the same time, because it's got a fixed axle, you can kind of loop with it pretty well. It doesn't loop as well as the Pro-Yo does. Kind of like turns on you, but or at least turns on me. But I'm not that great at looping and stuff, and what have you. But as far as a fixed axle is concerned, it's kind of the best of both worlds. And I mean, you really would have to spend $30 or $40 to kind of beat it as far as a a modern fixed axle yo-yo is concerned. So let's pull it apart here, and this is the stock string, and it's kind of starting to get a little bit frayed. So it's kind of like sticking funny on me. I should probably just replace that. But anyway, as you can see, it comes with this wooden insert, very much exactly the same as the Pro-Yo. Wooden insert here, and there's these like little, you kind of see the little like the dimples in there. It screws apart, which is awesome for fixed axle play. You can kind of do some string tricks, and if you get it all bound up or something, it's not a big deal. Yes, I know, it's much easier to do string tricks on a ball bearing yo-yo, but there's something so satisfying about splitting the atom on a fixed axle yo-yo. So, it's a blast from the past for sure, because this was definitely a very 90s yo-yo, although I never had the playmaxx version, because I was more into looping in the 90s, as a lot of people were. And the playmaxx version of this was kind of rare, because the Pro-Yo was everywhere, and it always was part of like promotions and stuff, like, so you get them with like the different caps on them that were like promo caps. These were a little bit more rare because string tricks were really hard on a fixed axle yo-yo, and so it was a lot easier on one of the butterfly, on like the Bumblebee GT. So if you saw a playmaxx yo-yo shaped like this, it was generally the the at least in the Pittsburgh area. It was usually the Bumblebee GT. I always kind of preferred the I flipped the caps on this, but I always kind of prefer the Spintastic stuff, and it was easier for me to get because there was a local toy store that was a Spintastics dealer, and the playmaxx stuff was very much like mall kiosk type things, so they were kind of hard to pin down, and you couldn't really order them, at least where I was, at the time. It was harder to get the more either high end or more expensive or other playmaxx stuff. So for me, I didn't have a ton of it, but I had a few Proyos. But the ProFly from Duncan, I'm glad that Duncan kept this in their lineup because I think it's fun. I've been having a lot of fun with it. And, check it out. If you want to get into the modern fixed axle play, I couldn't think of a better starter to see if it's something that you might like. So anyway, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers to you. And we'll see you next time.